Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Stiegemeyer, and I work with the Writing Studio and the School of Education graduate programs at Concordia University, Irvine. This is going to continue our series on quick writing tips, especially related to APA format. Today, I'm going to talk about capitalization. APA calls itself a down style, which means that words are mostly lowercase, unless there's specific guidance to capitalize them. So that means that most of the time you can kind of keep in mind as you're writing, I don't have to capitalize this. And let me give you some examples. So do not capitalize these things. Diseases or disorders like autism spectrum disorder, major depression, therapies and treatments like cognitive behavior therapy or applied behavior analysis, theories, concepts, hypotheses, so like psychoanalytic theory or social emotional learning theory. And there's a kind of some special things about job titles. So when you have a title that directly precedes a name, you would capitalize it. But if it doesn't come right before the name, you don't capitalize it. So you can see this first example, Carolina Espinoza, Executive Director of Marketing. Her name comes first and the title comes after, so you don't capitalize that. But in the last example, you can see Executive Director Carolina Espinoza led the meeting. So here the title precedes the name directly. So there you would capitalize. Sometimes you need to know that for interview papers you might write, or possibly capstones or dissertations where you're naming specific teachers, but sometimes you have to make those anonymous anyhow. However, you do capitalize personal names that appear within those broader categories that I just mentioned. So for example, disease is Alzheimer's disease. So because that's a name, you would capitalize it. For Adler and Freud, who created their theories, we'd say Adlerian theory, capital, and Freudian would be capitalized. But notice here, the D, the T's are not capitalized. So just because the name is capitalized doesn't mean that the rest of the term is. A couple of other examples are Maslow's hierarchy of needs and Pavlovian conditioning. So now it's time for a quiz. So here's a sentence, and I want you to think about which words should be capitalized. The students' performance scores were assessed at 46% in English language arts and 37% in math. So in this case, the words that should be capitalized, well, it's only one, English, because it's the name of the language, but language arts would not need to be, and math would not need to be. Next one, for this student's concerns, social emotional learning theory should be applied. So here again, which words should be capitalized? Well, in this example, all the capitalization is correct. We have the theory as lowercase in that down style, with the abbreviation coming right after, which of course is in all caps. And last example, on February 20th, the principal of the school, Helen Thomas, sent the communication to the faculty. So in this case, should principal be capitalized? And the answer is no. We've got some intervening words here before the name. So we would keep this lowercase. However, in this other example at the bottom, where the title comes directly before the name, it would be capitalized. So here's where I found my information from the APA manual. And please join me again for other quick tips or make an appointment on the OWL or in our graduate school Zoom options for writing consultations. You can scan this QR code for more information, and happy writing.